Alright, starting off Prime 5 with some breaking news, and this is regarding the Angel Chakma murder. Just a short while ago, Dehradun SSP, he held a press conference there and he denied racist attack charge. The SSP said accused were joking with Angel and brother, and he goes on to further say that violent attack in heat of moment after. He denied that the attack was due to racism. The police officer, the SSP of Dehradun, further went on to say that 6 accused clashed with Angel and brother, and the attack a result of confusion and aggression and perhaps happened in the heat of moment. He also said that the accused did not intend to kill Angel. This, of course, after Angel Chakma's death became a national issue over hate crime, over racist slurs which were going on against Angel Chakma. Listen into what the SSP said a short while ago.
इंसिडेंट हुआ, ये क्या कहीं प्रायोजित तो नहीं था, कहीं पूर्व सुनियोजित तो नहीं था, या किसी और कारणों से इंटेंशन से यह घटना तो कारित नहीं की गई, लेकिन सबके द्वारा अलग अलग इंफॉर्मेशन बताया गया कि सडन हीट ऑफ द मोमेंट में एक कंफ्यूजन में हुआ और जब ज्यादा आक्रोशित हो गए तो इसमें इस तरह से आवेश में आकर इस तरह से हमला कर लिया, कहीं कोई इंटेंशन मारने की थी.
And well, for more on this, my colleague Ratandeep is now joining me live. Ratandeep, we spoke about how this has become a national issue yesterday, the hate crime, and how this is a result of racist slurs at Angel Chakma. But now, the SSP giving that press briefing, clearly denying any racist attack on Angel Chakma.
That's right. In fact, a short while back, the SSP of Dehradun had briefed the media. In fact, we have played out that soundbite on NDTV network. But the big question remains is that, remember Angel Chakma's brother, who was attacked by the same group of people, who was admitted in hospital. He's the prime witness to this incident. He had categorically claimed that racial abuses they were subjected to a racial abuse, and that's when Angel Chakma confronted them. In fact, the family, his father, his uncle, we have spoken to his father yesterday. He was live on NDTV. I've spoken to his uncle over phone. They have been saying that their son Angel Chakma was abused racially. There were racial slur used, and in fact, if you see, when the incident first got reported and when there was outrage on the social media, that is the first time when Uttarakhand police actually reacted, and in the first reaction they admitted to the crime that a person has been brutally murdered. Now this, however, is this press conference is after their investigation, where they have basically interrogated the 5 suspects who they have already nabbed, and they are looking for one more who might have fled to Nepal. But the big question remains is that why is Uttarakhand police saying this now, and what was it doing for the 14 days? Remember, the incident took place on December 9, and then the first FIR got registered only when the Chakma Students Association from New Delhi, one of their representatives went there. They helped the brother and the father, who had reached on the very next day, to register this FIR. Before that, the family claims that they had gone to the police station, but the police station was not very interested to register an FIR. So therefore, there are questions on how Uttarakhand police has handled this issue till this point of moment. However, now this is a fresh revelation. In fact, the Tripura's chief minister has spoken to his counterpart in Uttarakhand, Pushkar Singh Dhami, twice. Pushkar Singh Dhami had spoken to the father. The chief minister of Uttarakhand has assured that the culprit will be nabbed. There will be justice for Angel Chakma. And even as we speak, there are several candlelight vigils being happening. Now the big question remains whether racial abuses were hurled at them or not.
Right, absolutely, and that's a sticking point, whether racial abuses were hurled at Angel Chakma, if that was the reason for his death, because the latest coming in is that the top cop has said that the accused did not intend to kill Angel Chakma. All right, staying on with this story now. The shocking killing of Tripura student Angel Chakma in Dehradun has taken a new turn now. Police now say that the attack was not racially motivated, and this despite earlier claims of slurs and discrimination and racist slurs being hurled at Angel Chakma. SSP of Dehradun, Ajay Singh, clarified just a short while ago that derogatory remarks exchanged in jest, that's in quotations, that's what he said, among locals created a false impression of racism, and the clash was between strangers with no prior enmity. Now remember, Chakma, a 24-year-old MBA student, was stabbed on December 9th and died after 17 days in hospital. 5 accused have been arrested, while 1 fled across the border. Even as police reject racial intent, student groups and leaders from the Northeast insist that racism remains a livid reality. It is a reality for them, further urging stronger laws to protect diversity. Chief Minister of Uttarakhand has now promised strict action. Take a listen.
हम लोग आ रहे थे उधर से, तो हम लोग आए तो हम लोग अपना बाइक से अपना आ रहे थे हम लोग सब, तो उन लोग हम लोग को मेरे को थोड़ा पोक कर रहा था, ये चिंकी उनकी मेरे को थोड़ा सा रेसिज्म कर रहा था, तो मैं थोड़ा अपने तरफ से अपने सेल्फ डिफेंस मतलब थोड़ा बोल रहा था कि भैया क्या हो गया करके उधर पे। हम लोग अपना उस समय फोन में बात कर रहा था, मैं अपना बस मैं अपना कन्फेस किया कि भैया क्या हो, गाली क्यों दे रहे हो। तो उनका वो प्लानिंग था क्या था वो मेरे को पता नहीं, पर उन्होंने डायरेक्ट मेरे में अटैक कर दिया उन लोग ने। तो फिर भैया आया मेरे को बचाने के लिए आया, फिर भैया को मेरे को कड़ा से मारा, भैया लगा उससे, फिर भैया को उन लोगों ने चाकू मार दिया स्पाइन की तरफ में।
थोड़ा देर में हमारे क्या से ट्वीट भी कर लेंगे हम। देखो, पहले तो हम लोग थोड़ा सोचना पड़ेगा। हम लोग एक समाज को पूरा बदनाम नहीं कर सकते हैं, मगर जिन लोगों ने किया है वो या तो सूझबूझ कुछ नहीं है, यहाँ के जो लोग हैं उसके बारे में उनको मालूम नहीं है। हम तो किसी तरह भी हम अपने आप को चाइनीज़ नहीं मानते हैं, और किसी रूप में भी हम मोमो नहीं है, खाने वाला चीज़ है, अच्छा लगता है, वो लोग को भी खाना चाहिए और खाते होंगे, मगर किसी भी लोग को हम लोग इस तरह से व्यवहार नहीं होना चाहिए।
Okay, let's now take you through the key highlights of what the Dehradun SSP said a short while ago on the Angel Chakma case. The first statement which came out was that the incident is not a racist attack, but on the contrary, Angel's brother, you just heard that, he clearly says that the people who killed Angel Chakma, they called us chinky and made racist remarks. Apart from this, the police goes on to say, violent attack in heat of moment. They said that Angel Chakma did not know the accused prior. On the other hand, Angel's brother says, my brother was stabbed in the spine and it was not something which just happened in the heat of moment. Then the Dehradun police goes on to say, accused did not intend to kill Angel at all. And Angel's brother, he draws a contradictory statement there, saying that the accused were drunk. So this is perhaps the twists and the turns which have been going on when it comes to what the Dehradun police have been saying and what Angel Chakma's family are claiming. Let's now tell you Chakma's family's demand. What do they want after their son, who was just 24-year-old, was stabbed to death in Dehradun? Number one, strictest punishment to the culprits. Action to stop. After that, they also want action to stop racial discrimination against them. And lastly, of course, safety of all Northeast students who study in North Indian states and anywhere else in India. And well, for more on this, my colleague Ratandeep, who's been tracking the story very closely, is now joining me. Ratandeep, we've just told our viewers about the contradictions of what the Dehradun police is saying, how they go on to say that this was not a racist attack, which stands in contradiction to what Chakma's family claims, that their son, their brother, was stabbed to death.
Absolutely. These contradictions are very critical actually in this case, given the fact that none other than the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Mr. Pushkar Singh Dhami, had categorically assured the family that there would be justice. But the question is, while we can see that soundbite that we played out of Michael, the younger brother who was also attacked, clearly claiming that there were racial slurs hurled at them, they were racially targeted, and that's where the confrontation, the argument started. The police also says that there was argument. So there is a part of it which police agrees, but the most important part of the allegation that there was racial slurs hurled at them is something that Uttarakhand police is denying. Uttarakhand police goes on to say that it was in the jest and they did not intend to kill. But the fact remains, NDTV had accessed the medical report. We have reported it that there were critical blows and it was a very fatal attack. The kind of internal bleeding, bleeding from head, the spot where the knife got pierced in the spinal cord, that how the part of the spinal cord was damaged. All this goes to show that it was a brutal attack. The question is now, the police is saying that it seems that it is not a brutal it was not intended to kill. The attack that was done was not intended to kill. Now, this is very critical. So the question remains is that there is not only contradiction, but it seems that the police is trying to say that, look, this was a confrontation between two groups of strangers who had an argument. There derogatory words exchanged, but there was nothing racial in that manner. How did the police find this out? This is the big question.
Right.
So the question remains is that when police says that there was no intention to kill, but the medical report shows that the attack was brutal. So therefore, perhaps at this moment, with the type of outrage which is there in regards to this brutal killing, perhaps the Uttarakhand police needs to come more clear in terms of why they are claiming so. Otherwise, there would be question raised on this investigation as well.
Right, absolutely, Ratandeep, because there seems to be contradictions and contrary statements being made by Angel Chakma's family, and that Dehradun police will, of course, be tracking this very closely with you. All right, well, there's more to the story, and Tarun Chakma spoke to NDTV. He's the father of Angel Chakma, to highlight how justice with his son Angel will serve as a testament to India's commitment to safeguard people. Take a listen.
मिस्टर चकमा, हमसे जुड़ने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। ये बताइए कि आपके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल टाइम है, ये बताइए कि आज क्या मैसेज देना चाहते हैं आप देश को?
मैं तो कोई बार बोला मैडम, मेरा बच्चा जैसे ऐसे हुआ मैडम और किसी दूसरा बच्चा को ना हो। मैं देश को ये बोलना चाहूँगा, जो भी हुआ चलो बहुत बुरा हुआ अभी, और जो भी बच्चा पढ़ने गया तो उनको और बाद में कभी ना हो, ये मैं देश से बोलना चाहता हूँ मैडम।
जी अरुण जी, सरकार ने आपको आश्वासन दिया है कि पूरी तरह से इन्वेस्टिगेशन किया जाएगा, 5 लोगों का अरेस्ट भी हुआ है। आपको क्या विश्वास है कि आपके बेटे को न्याय मिलेगा?
हाँ मैडम, विश्वास तो है। अपना त्रिपुरा सरकार, ये सीएम ने भी बोला, फिर उत्तराखंड सीएम भी बोला, हमसे बात किया तो उन लोग न्याय देंगे। हम पूरा भरोसा है मैडम, न्याय मिलेगा।
जी सर, थोड़ा सा एंजल के बारे में बताइए। पूरा देश आपके साथ है और बहुत ही शेकन है कि इतना हॉरिबल क्राइम हुआ है। आपके बेटे के बारे में थोड़ा बताइए ताकि हम सब उसको याद रख सके।
मेरा बेटा तो सपना था मैडम, मैं एमबीए करके उसमें डी में भी प्लेसमेंट मिला था। मेरा उसका मम्मी को बोला था, मम्मी इस महीना उसका 5 तारीख से एग्जाम था मैडम, एक एग्जाम भी दिया था। उसके बाद फिर 10 तारीख को एग्जाम होना था, इसका बीच में इसका हादसा हुआ मैडम। तो उसका सपना था कि इसका भाई को दिल्ली में उसका कोचिंग करा के उसका पढ़ा के उसको अच्छा नौकरी दिला दे, फिर अपना माँ को साथ में रख के मेरे को बोला, पापा आपने बहुत नौकरी किया, फौज में बहुत दिक्कत होता है, आपको पेंशन मैं जब नौकरी में ज्वाइन करूंगा, नौकरी मिला तो आप पेंशन आ जाना, ऐसे भी बोला था मैडम मेरे को। बच्चा ने इतना सलाह दिया, मेरा दिल पूरा टूट गया मैडम अभी मेरा।
आप क्या डिमांड करते हैं सर, क्या मांग है आपका समाज से, सरकार से कि ऐसा कोई हादसा किसी और के साथ ना हो?
हाँ मैं तो यही चाहता हूँ, किसी मतलब पूरा सरकार से मैं, उत्तराखंड सरकार हो, पूरा इंडिया का सरकार से मैं अपील करता हूँ। और जैसे नॉर्थ ईस्ट से भी कोई बच्चा कोई बेंगलोर में, देहरादून में, कहीं भी दिल्ली में कोई कंपनी में काम कर रहा है, कोई पढ़ाई करने जा रहा है मैडम, उनका साथ ऐसे गलत व्यवहार ना हो मैडम, जो हुआ है। तो अभी तो हमने बच्चे को बहुत कोशिश किया, मतलब उसको ये बचाने के लिए हॉस्पिटल में मैडम, लेकिन बचा नहीं गया, जरा चोट लगा ठीक है मैडम। तो हम बहुत ये है मैडम।
Political heat is on in Bengal, in the state of West Bengal, ahead of the elections in the state. In the latest, Union Home Minister and Chief Election Strategist of BJP, Amit Shah is in Kolkata to review the party's poll strategy. In fact, Amit Shah today has launched a blistering, scathing attack on Mamata Banerjee and her government, accusing it of abating infiltration from Bangladesh for electoral gains. Shah said that the BJP will not only identify infiltrators but also ensure that they are driven out, asserting that infiltration from the eastern borders will be stopped once the party BJP comes to power in West Bengal. He also blamed the West Bengal government for obstructing border security, claiming that fencing along the Bangladesh border remains incomplete due to denial of land. While the Bengal Chief Minister was quick to hit back, Mamata Banerjee hit out at the Home Minister with a Dushasan jibe. She said that only around elections Dushasans land in the state of West Bengal. While replying to Amit Shah's infiltrators salvo, she asked the centre on how a Pahalgam attack or Delhi blast attack took place. Before we go across to my colleague Manogya, who is there in Bengal, listen to the reactions that are coming in on this.
पार्थो चैटर्जी जेल में जाते हैं, ज्योति प्रिय मलिक जेल में जाते हैं, अनुव्रत मंडल जेल में जाते हैं, जीवन कृष्ण शाह जेल में जाते हैं, माणिक भट्टाचार्य जेल में जाते हैं, चंद्रनाथ सिन्हा जेल में जाते हैं, परेश पाल जेल में जाते हैं, कुंतल घोष जेल में जाते हैं, फिरहाद हकीम वो भी आरोपी बनाए जाते हैं, शोभन चैटर्जी आरोपी बनाए जाते हैं, कुणाल घोष 3 साल जेल में रहकर आते हैं। और आप कहती है कि भ्रष्टाचार नहीं हो गया, हो रहा है। आप आंख मूंद लिए ही हो भ्रष्टाचार के लिए, मगर बंगाल की जनता अपनी आंख बंद कर कर नहीं बैठी है। गरीब बंगाल की जनता के अधिकार का पैसा आपकी कैडर की भेंट चढ़ रहा है। महिलाओं की सुरक्षा एक बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा बना है और अधिकृत रूप से कहा जाता है कि महिलाएं 7 बजे के बाद अपने हॉस्टल और घर से न निकले। हम कौन से जमाने में जी रहे, मुगल काल में जी रहे हैं क्या? आरजी कर मेडिकल कॉलेज का मामला हो, संदेश खाली का मामला हो, दुर्गापुर मेडिकल कॉलेज का मामला हो, साउथ कॉलेज लॉ कॉलेज का मामला हो, हर जगह बेटियां असुरक्षित हैं और ढेर सारे लोग और ढेर सारी माताएं बहनें ये अत्याचार से तंग आ चुकी।
ममता बनर्जी लगातार 2 दिनों से का एक अपना स्वभाव है, लेकिन उनपे जो है तुष्टीकरण का आरोप लगाया जा रहा है और लगातार वो पहले भी मंदिर एक बनवाई है अभी उड़ीसा के तर्ज पे, और दूसरा एक और घोषणा उन्होंने कर दिया महाकाल मंदिर बनाने का। तो चुनाव की दृष्टि से क्या आपको लगता है कि इसका
मैं तो भाई किसी भी कारण से मंदिर बनाते ही इसका स्वागत करता हूं, मगर बहुत देरी कर दी है उन्होंने।
बीजेपी का जो लोअर लेवल का नेता भी है वो भी पूछ रहा है कि क्यों अभिषेक बनर्जी अरेस्ट नहीं हुआ, उसका कंपनी का 150 करोड़ रुपया एसीज हुआ फिर भी अरेस्ट नहीं हुआ।
बीजेपी के लोअर लेवल के नेता का मुझ पर छोड़ दीजिए, बाकी भारतीय जनता पार्टी किसी भी एजेंसी के काम में दखल नहीं देती है। एजेंसी जो न्यायिक काम होगा वो जरूर करेगी, किसी से डरेगी भी नहीं, किसी को बचाएगी भी नहीं।
একজন দুঃশাসন এসছেন বাংলায়, ভোট আসলে দুর্যোধন আর দুঃশাসনরা আসেন, ওদের চোখে দেখবেন, দু চোখে দেখলেই আতঙ্ক হবে, এই বুঝি কিছু ক্ষতি করতে এলো রে, এলো রে, এলো রে, এলো রে, গেল রে, গেল রে, গেল রে। দুঃশাসন বাবু এসছেন, শকুনি মামার চেলা চামুন্ডারা ঘুরে বেড়াচ্ছে আর বলে বেড়াচ্ছে বাংলায় নাকি 1.5 কোটি লোকের নাম বাদ যাবে। কেন? যারা সারা জীবন বাংলায় থেকেছে, বাংলায় তারা ভোটার, 1% টাকা আমাদেরই দিতে হয়। ইলেকশন এসে গেছে এবং এসআইআর এর নাম করে গরিব সাধারণ মানুষের উপর অত্যাচার হচ্ছে। বলতে পারেন সাধারণ মানুষ আমায় উন্নয়নের কথা, উন্নয়নের পাঁচালি দেখে নেবেন।
All right, to talk more on this, my colleague Manogya is there in West Bengal. She's joining me live. Manogya, political heat is clearly only increasing in the poll-bound state of West Bengal, with Amit Shah now launching that blistering attack on Mamata Banerjee and her government, saying that BJP will seal borders and there will be no infiltration if the Bharatiya Janata Party comes to power. Perhaps, Manogya, talk to us more on that and how this sets the tone for polls next year.
Well, even as the year ends and the city is beautifully decorated into Christmas feel and the New Year celebrations, here is a scathing attack between both political parties and the top leaders of the two political parties, with Home Minister Amit Shah on a 3-day trip to West Bengal, where he's holding series of meeting and a press conference where he did not mince a single word while attacking Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. And on the contrary, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on her district tour, where she not just opened one of the toughest attacks till now, but also used characters from Mahabharata to rename and also mention and attack Home Minister Amit Shah. But also to give you an idea that this is not just about a lot of words, but this is also about scathing attack on each other with multiple issues that both political parties have on their mind. They also know that the infiltration has been a big issue. On one hand, Home Minister clearly stating that if BJP comes to power, they will ensure that all the border areas have much more power and are sealed completely vis-a-vis the non-cooperation of the state government that has been the charge from the centre. The Home Minister also said that he's written more than 7 letters to the Chief Minister seeking for land and other assistances that haven't been provided, and that's the reason why there is so much of infiltration happening from the state of West Bengal, which is far more than other states of Assam and Tripura, and which has a sealed border and has BJP government. On the contrary, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has used characters from Mahabharata, and second most important point where she stated clearly that there are multiple political leaders in BJP who've been mentioning that 1.5 crore names would be deleted, and if in case that happens, she would protest not just in Kolkata but also in Delhi against Election Commission. And SIR is here to stay as one of the biggest issues this political season.
Right, absolutely, Manogya. A host of issues on the platter before the polls, but stay with us. We'll come back to you in just moments from now. All right, let's now take you through the big attack on infiltrations as the political heat increases in the poll-bound state of West Bengal. Number one, that's the claim by Amit Shah that Mamata shields illegal immigrants in West Bengal. Then Mamata wrongly then blames BSF. Another accusation by the BJP that the TMC government is not giving land for fencing. Then, on the other hand, Mamata goes on to say that why such large-scale infiltration only in West Bengal? Apart from that, BJP's accusation again on TMC that TMC changing Bengal's demography. Let's now tell you about how TMC has hit back, how Mamata Banerjee's government has hit back at BJP. That's a prediction punch at Shah. Okay, so Mamata goes on to say that we love Amit Shah's predictions. Then she says that Shah earlier had also predicted that BJP will win the elections in 2021 and 2024. Apart from that, that's what I just told you. In the latest, Amit Shah's 2026 prediction is excellent news for us. So clearly, Mamata Banerjee is taking a jibe at Amit Shah and the Bharatiya Janata Party and goes on to say that Shah's prediction is perhaps good omen. It is good luck for us and the TMC party. Manogya, you're still here with us, joining us live from Kolkata, where all the action is taking place ahead of the polls. Clearly, war of words between BJP and TMC, with the TMC government being accused of not giving land for fencing, and in return, Mamata Banerjee goes on to say that it's not only in West Bengal where infiltration takes place. How do you see all of this panning out ahead of polls in the state of West Bengal?
Well, infiltration is definitely a big issue when it comes to the state of West Bengal and the country also. There have been multiple reasons for us to believe that it is one of important issues to be addressed by the centre, and especially in state because it shares more than 2,000 kilometers of border across Bangladesh. And given the fact that Bangladesh has been witnessing such a the kind of turmoil which is of course directly, indirectly affecting a lot in the Indian subcontinent. But we're also here to understand on how important this issue will become and escalate into or snowball into one of the biggest issues this election season. Number one is SIR, the CAA factor which has been affecting the Matua community, where Home Minister clearly stated that the Matuas or those who've applied for CAA do not need to worry for anything or at any instance, because they have confirmed the citizenship of the country and they have support of the government at the centre. On the contrary, with Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, who has been visiting Matua area, there has been a lot of dissent, and the fact that Trinamool Congress also has been on the ground zero working it out at definite and different instances. But this is here to stay. This is a war of words. This is expected to intensify with every passing day. And trust me, the new year will have more political fireworks from West Bengal.
Absolutely, Manogya. Infiltration attack in Dushasan counter in the poll bank state of West Bengal. But thanks very much for getting us the latest. That was my colleague Manogya joining us live from Kolkata. On that one, we slip into a very short break, but come right back. Close line up for you here on Prime 5.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Yeah.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
A very special moment for us as we announce NDTV Masterstroke, the NDTV Art Awards.
NDTV presents the Masterstroke Art Awards, an odyssey of creative brilliance where the masterpiece meets its ultimate recognition.
NDTV bringing this subject forward would have a great integrity of putting it forward where people could understand the importance of art.
This award that is being started, I'm sure is going to be amazing.
Art for India and for Indians is an expression of our Atmanirbharta.
It's actually quite a formidable jury, so I think we'll reveal a lot more as we go along.
This is an amazing platform, I think, today what you're doing.
Honoring the masters who define our creative landscape. Coming soon on the NDTV network.
It is Asia's richest civic body. 2026 begins with Big Bang BMC poll. High stakes Mumbai battle loading. Can BJP extend Maha winning streak? Existential fight for the Sena. Can the Congress strike a comeback? Maha civic body, massive implications. NDTV tracks the Maha build-up, battleground BMC.
Are you ready for the best show in town? NDTV Golf Pro-Am. We are coming to your city. Stay tuned.
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world.
Welcome back. You're watching Prime 5 with me, Raisha Sehgal. In other news, even as India and China cautiously navigate a fragile thaw in ties following the Galwan Valley clashes, a new flashpoint has emerged, this time on screen. Well, we're talking about the trailer of Battle of Galwan, a Bollywood movie slated for release in April 2026, and it stars Salman Khan. It has stirred sharp reactions in Chinese state media. The Global Times dismissed the movie as and I'm quoting them here, over-the-top drama, even as online debates intensify. Chinese commentators hit out at exaggerated storytelling and a one-sided Indian narrative, arguing that cinema cannot alter historical facts or on-ground realities. Meanwhile, government sources have clarified that the government has no role to play in the making of the movie and has also called this freedom of cinematic expression, adding that those having problem can approach the Defence Ministry. The trailer released on December 27th, and it comes at a very crucial moment, with both the countries, India and China, only recently showing signs of easing tensions after the deadly 2020 border clashes.
Not surprised at the Chinese reaction on the recently released teaser of Battle of Galwan, as reported in the Global Times, because Global Times is nothing but a government mouthpiece. It's state-owned. Films are made with proper research, because that is the foundation of any good script. And with people like Apoorv Lakhia and Salman Khan, they're notable names. I don't think they will just make anything so as to distort facts just to make a film.
You see, China is a different country, and we
unfortunately have such enemies of the country in our country also. I really thank Kapro Lakhia, my friend who's directed this film and who has thought of making a film on this entire incident which happened in Galwan in 2020. Reaction is quite obvious, definitely, because when an Indian filmmaker makes a film, he will definitely see to it that our enemy countries' activities are exposed. And we as a nation are a strong nation, and our security forces are really brave to fight their battles for the country. So it's basically kind of insecurity which Global Times feels that it's better to condemn this film now only and go take it politically that Galwan belongs to us. A newspaper saying this or any leader or any politician in China says that, I think doesn't matter, because we know that this place is ours and it belongs to India.
And well, for more on this, my colleague Aditya Rajkol is now joining me live. Aditya, for all of us here in India, Battle of Galwan perhaps is a movie framed as a tribute to the country's security personnel. And here we have the Chinese media criticizing the movie, saying that the facts have been distorted.
Well, Raisha, quite unexpected line, isn't it? China has had a problem with creative expression, freedom of expression, time and again, be it Indian newspaper articles, TV reports, and this time around, a film on the Galwan crisis of 2020, in which 20 brave hearts of the Indian army sacrificed their life for the country. And as per intelligence reports, there were more than 50 Chinese PLA soldiers who were killed as well. But imagine what happened in China. China never gave them tribute. China didn't honor their own soldiers. They didn't even name the more than 50 soldiers that were killed in the clashes with the Indian army. So as of now, of course, Chinese state media, the Chinese propaganda media, Global Times, has had a problem with the Battle of Galwan. But top government sources have told me here on NDTV that this is creative expression. India believes in freedom of expression, and cinematic expression is an integral part of it. India does not have a problem with it, and certainly does not have any role to play. The government does not have any role to play in the making of this particular film. And if somebody has any problem, they can reach out to either the India's Ministry of Defense or India's Information and Broadcasting Ministry. India has a very democratic setup. There are mechanisms in place like the Central Board of Certification. But in this particular case, the film will be releasing in April. And imagine the trailer of the film already creating, problems for the Chinese establishment and the Chinese regime. Imagine what the film will do. But clearly, in this particular case, it's just a tribute to the soldiers of the Indian Army. It's about the facts and the reality of what happened in Galwan. China saying that they will try to protect their sovereignty doesn't mean anything, because Eastern Ladakh or all these territories are Indian territories, and people who stay there believe that they are Indians first. So Chinese expansionist tendency is certainly not going to work here.
Absolutely, Aditya. And the government goes on to say that there's been no role of the government in the movie. But thanks very much for sharing your insights on this. Well, let's tell you more about the Galwan clash. What happened in June 2020? So it all started in June 2020, Galwan clash between India and China. 20 Indian soldiers were killed in action. Our intel says that 40 plus Chinese soldiers were also killed in action. And of course, this was a PLA breaching the line of actual control, the PLA breach of LAC. China tried to alter LAC and it clearly failed in all its attempt. So firm retaliation was given by India. Let's now take you through the hero of the Galwan clash. Colonel Santosh Babu. Colonel Santosh Babu led from the front during the Galwan clash in 2020. Shifting our focus to what's happening in Bangladesh. A nation swept in grief as Dhaka mourns former Prime Minister Khaleda Zia, a towering political figure in the nation's politics, who died at the age of 80 earlier today. That's after prolonged illness. BNP sources have told NDTV that Zia will be buried next to her husband and late President Zia-ur-Rahman's grave in Dhaka. Interim Chief of Bangladesh, Mohammad Yunus, has announced a 3-day national mourning. Meanwhile, world leaders have reacted to Zia's death, with Prime Minister Modi recalling their warm meeting in 2015 while recognizing her contributions to Dhaka's growth and development. Yunus has said that Bangladesh has lost its greatest guardian, and Sheikh Hasina has called it a profound loss. And well, for more on this, my colleague Ankit is now joining me live. Ankit, what is the mood like on the ground right now with anti-India sentiment rising and now the demise of Khaleda Zia, a towering political figure in Bangladesh?
That's right. Her demise today, 80-year-old former Prime Minister, three-time Prime Minister of Bangladesh, is going to have a very big impact in the days to come, especially she dying, when Bangladesh is all set to write another chapter in its with its flirtations as far as democracy is concerned. And on 12th of February will be the general elections. And at that time, when her son has come back after 17 years, Khaleda Zia's death, on one part within the BNP, of course, a lot of sorrow. People we saw outside the hospital, old-timers who have worked with her, weeping and remembering her. But her legacy is quite complex. It's a layered legacy as far as Bangladesh is concerned. The BNP, of course, the party that she led, founded by her late husband, President and General, former President and General Zia Rahman. She would be tomorrow laid to rest right next to her husband. And it is now her son who will be taking the legacy forward. The BNP has always, been seen as a very nationalist kind of a party, which stood out in the 90s and the 2000s, her reign as taking on India, and also as a conservative party, because she made her first government with the support of the Jamaat-e-Islami. And since then, she has been, been able to do a lot of reforms as far as women are also concerned. So that's why her legacy has been very led. At one point, it has been seen as conservative. On the other, the kind of reforms that she was able to push for women, whether it's education or, domestic violence reforms, bills that she got in. So she would be seen and remembered through the prism of a lot of complexity as far as Bangladesh is concerned. But at this moment, the government has announced a 3-day mourning. Tomorrow is going to be a public holiday. And tomorrow, this whole chapter that Bangladesh spoke about, the Battle of the Begums, one pole of the chapter would be laid to rest, with the other fleeing to India. That battle also comes to an end.
Right, Ankit, you've given us a gist of all that has happened in Bangladesh. But my question to you is that this is, of course, an end of an era in Dhaka. The Battle of Begums comes to an end. What's next for the political landscape of Bangladesh? Because we are just 2 months away from elections in Dhaka, especially at a time with Hasina not in Dhaka, with Khaleda Zia's demise, perhaps a political vacuum looming in Dhaka just around 60 odd days before polls.
Absolutely, and especially, when you talk about the left of center, liberal kind of, voices as far as the politics is concerned. Remember, Awami League is banned from fighting elections. The BNP, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, which was formed by Zia Rahman, and then later, of course, since 84, Khaleda Zia was the chairperson of that party, has always been seen as a right of center kind of a political party. At this moment, of course, with both these polls, the figures that define the politics and of the fight of democracy of Bangladesh from ever since 1990s to 2024, this is going to be a big vacuum as far as the politics is concerned, and that now remains a big question and also a big void for Tariq Rahman, the son, the elder son of Khaleda Zia, to come and fill those that vacuum. Though right from the time he has come back from London, he has tried to strike a chord with voters from all across, even with the minorities. but it remains to be seen what shape does that take, because remember, either on both sides, whether it's Jamaat-e-Islami with the NCP, BNP also going with some factions, moderate factions as far as the radical elements are concerned. Both sides at this moment it seems to be a choice that people would be making without an alternative. NCP, the student leader, the party, centered itself, or at least projected itself to take that space of Awami League. They have also now tied up with the Jamaat-e-Islami. In that context, a big vacuum and uncertainty on what happens on February 12th when the elections in Bangladesh take place.
Right, Ankit, stay with us. You're joining us live from Dhaka, where all the actions taking place. We'll be coming back to you in just moments from now. Let's now tell you more about what Zia's death means for Bangladesh. What does this mean at a time when there's political turmoil and the country remains on edge? So number one, of course, political instability and volatility in Bangladesh. There's perhaps room right now in Dhaka for more coalitions in upcoming polls, which will take place on the 12th of February. BNP leadership shifts towards Khaleda Zia's son. We're talking about Tariq Rahman, who has returned to Dhaka after being in self-exile for 17 long years. And of course, with Khaleda Zia's demise today at the age of 80 and Hasina no more in Dhaka, all this has ended the battling Begums era in Bangladesh. BNP also loses its unifying leader, and sympathy vote right now could perhaps consolidate BNP's voter base in Dhaka. Well, at this point of time, all eyes are on Tariq Rahman, who has stepped forward as the heir and undisputed successor of BNP. This also will perhaps put Tariq under the lens, because he will of course have to show his worth. Test of party revival will all now depend on Tariq Rahman. Can Tariq convert sentiment into votes after his mother's demise is a big question mark, and we'll wait and have to see how that pans out on the 12th of February. At this point of time, what it means for India right now, New Delhi must navigate Bangladesh without the Begums, without Khaleda Zia and without Sheikh Hasina. Let's tell you more about Tariq Rahman. My colleague Ankit, who joined us live from Dhaka, told us about Tariq Rahman, who has returned to Dhaka. Let's tell you more about Tariq Rahman and what he will be doing after his mother's demise. Now, of course, Tariq Rahman is the acting chairman of BNP. He is now positioned to lead the party's election campaign. And he has already started taking steps towards that. He has already filed nominations ahead of polls in Bangladesh, and this after his homecoming after 17 years in self-exile. He has also been acquitted from various cases that he was in, so acquittals also removed all kind of legal barriers for Tariq Rahman. The big question, of course, is will the sentiment be converted into votes? All right, we have some breaking news on this, on whatever's happening in Bangladesh right now. India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Shankar, will be attending Khaleda Zia's funeral tomorrow in Dhaka. This at a time when India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi also shared his condolences on Khaleda Zia's demise and said that he had met Khaleda Zia in 2015, and Khaleda Zia worked towards warming ties between India and Bangladesh. But the latest coming in right now is that as Bangladesh and leaders from all across the world, they share their shower the condolences right now. India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Shankar, will be attending Khaleda Zia's funeral tomorrow, which will take place in Dhaka. India has, of course, mourned Khaleda Zia's demise, and Prime Minister Modi earlier today also hailed her contributions in strengthening India-Bangladesh ties, and he also said that he's deeply saddened. Of course, Bangladesh is in a state of mourning for 3 days. That was announced by the interim leader of the country. But the latest coming in is that India's Foreign Minister, Dr. S. Shankar, will be traveling to Dhaka to attend Khaleda Zia's funeral. right, moving on to other global news. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said on Monday that Ukraine had attempted to strike the Russian President Vladimir Putin's residence. However, Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, dismissed Russia's allegations and all the accusations of the alleged attack, calling the claims, and I'm quoting Zelensky here, lies. Zelensky dismissed the claim as typical Russian lies intended to give the Kremlin an excuse to continue attacks in Ukraine, all this at a time when the US President Donald Trump is trying to resolve the Ukraine-Russia war, which just doesn't seem to come to an end. The US President also spoke with the Russian President, and he said that he was very angry after Vladimir Putin informed him about the alleged attack on the call. Apart from that, Prime Minister Modi expressed deep concern, calling the developments troubling as tensions persist in the Ukraine-Russia war at this point of time.
I heard about it this morning.
Did Putin tell you
know
about
who told me about it? President Putin told me about it. Early in the morning, he said he was attacked. That's no good. It's no good.
Russian officials
Don't forget, the Tomahawks. I stopped the Tomahawks. I didn't want that. Because we're talking about, it's a delicate period of time.
But
this is not the right time. It's one thing to be offensive, because they're offensive. It's another thing to attack his house. It's not the right time to do any of that, and can't do it. And I learned about it from President Putin today. I was very angry about it.
Well, on that note, we'll slip into a very short break, but come right back. Close line up for you here on NDTV 24/7.
this was one of the most magical, mystical performances we've seen.
This is like a shrine.
Coming and listening to you is like seeing a maestro perform at that shrine.
I think it was when Air sang himself for the longest Qawwali. Yes, that for me was special.
When the first claps came in, I think my only prayers was all of you should be healed. May God give you a lot of prosperity, health, love, long life.
I was mesmerized.
I think it is one of the most magical evenings that I've spent.
बहुत ही अच्छा.
Beautiful.
Oh my God, A.R. Rahman is unmatchable.
It connected me to some spirituality.
This is India for me. This is India. This India I grew up, and this India I'm seeing now. It will never change.
When you have somebody like an A.R. Rahman, legend, maestro, I don't know which word should we choose. It was just a treat.
Pulling us into this country.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
"21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground.
Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling.
They are now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad sahab, aise mat kijiye. Suddenly people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to do.
And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude.
We're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship.
The line of control, Shivarur, NDTV.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV network.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Good evening, you're watching Nationwide at 6. I'm Gauri Dwivedi. The big story that we are tracking this evening for you. Well, a single movie trailer has rattled China, and how? Its government propaganda machinery is in full swing, trying to tell what they say is not the correct version as far as what happened in Galwan. We're going to tell you why what Chinese propaganda machinery is saying is completely false and incorrect, and why a single movie movie trailer is rattling China. But first up, let's get you what the big story really is. Even as India and China cautiously navigate a fragile thaw in relations following the Galwan Valley clashes that took place in 2020, summer of 2020, a new flashpoint seems to have emerged, this time on the screen. The trailer of Battle of Galwan, which is a Bollywood film slated for release in April 2026, starring Salman Khan, has now stirred a sharp reaction coming in from the Chinese state propaganda. The Global Times has dismissed this film as, well, what it calls an over-the-top theme. That's what it has actually said, an over-the-top drama, even as online debates are intensifying. Chinese commentators have said that this is exaggerated storytelling, one-sided Indian narrative, saying that cinema cannot alter historical facts or territorial realities. But we at NDTV are asking just a few questions. How is it that a single movie trailer rattles the entire Chinese state propaganda and machinery? And let's put that out. How is it that India is now A, reacting to the Galwan film row that China has in fact created, and then we of course ask the big questions on it. First and foremost, India is a country where freedom of expression is available, entitled for every citizen of this country. This is not China. This is India, where everybody is allowed to freely express their opinion, and that's exactly what cinematic expression is. It's part of India's culture, ethos, and something that allows Indian filmmakers to have the artistic freedom. This is not China.